Hello and welcome to High Impact Tuesday. My name is Frank Lavinia, and let me get the caption up. Hope you're doing well. I have not streamed in a while. Let me pull this over. Hopefully, my audio will improve. I haven't streamed in a while, and as you can tell, I need both a shave and a haircut. This week, I'm going to be at a conference up in Baltimore that focuses on cybersecurity, and I will be doing so for Coverse. So if you're up there, be sure to stop by the Coverse booth, which we're housed inside the SAIC booth. Hopefully, you're doing well this wonderful Tuesday. And the reason why I call it High Impact Tuesday is because um, Monday kind of punches you in the face, but Tuesday is the day you can save the week by getting back up and having some impact. Um, John is watching live. That's awesome, John. How's it going? Hopefully my audio is okay. Um, what I really want to do is I really want to kind of amp these up. I got to put some time into putting the TV up over there, and I can kind of do this kind of Leo Laporte type thing. Who knows? Who knows? But it's important I stream. I haven't streamed lately because a couple of reasons. One, I have been insanely busy at work, which is a good thing, and it's good to have you back, John. I've also been messing around with experimenting with the LinkedIn algorithm. And apparently, the LinkedIn algorithm doesn't really like it when you post more than once a day. Let me put this here. It gets a little cranky if you post more than once a day. Um, that's not really true. I mean, what it'll do is it'll make sure your content gets out to wider people if you only post once a day, if that makes sense. All right, so let me push this out. I'll minimize myself. Can I do this? Half screen, contain. There we go. Uh, Picture in picture. There we go. So a couple of things. One, I would say this has been an excellent book. My brother from another mother, Andy Leonard, tipped me off to this book. It's called Atomic Habits. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Another thing here, and I'm hearing a lot about this. I even saw a commercial during a football game uh, that was talking about edge computing. And I think if you're advertising your edge computing solutions during a major sports league event, then you are effectively a mainstream technology. So here's an interesting talk with a manager from the Microsoft group on edge computing. And in line with kind of some of the things I saw when I was at um, Andy Weir's new book, Project Hail Mary. Oh, really? Let me see if I can get rid of that graphic. There we go. So I can read the comments. There we go. Speaking of books, just finished Andy Weir's new one, Project Hail Mary. Really good. That's good because my credits just came in for Audible. I may pick that up. I've been wondering what to listen to next. Um, Brian Greene talks about kind of some interesting things. This is from the Lex Friedman podcast. Um, and he talks about quantum computing. We actually had one of his former students as a guest on Impact Quantum recently, so that's been pretty cool. Speaking of quantum computing, I was in um, a panel discussion, a second panel discussion, basically taking Q&A about the disruptive power of quantum computing. And apparently, I've been invited to attend a second, another quantum computing kind of panel, some of which will be public, some of which will not. But yeah, I'm excited. I think we're still in the early phases, the early days of quantum computing. So that's interesting. So the narrator was fantastic too. Well, that's good to know. Thanks, John. I think I'll pick that up. Um, and how are you, John? How are you doing? Hopefully things are well. Um, had another guest post. What's interesting is that there's been a lot of folks requesting to be a guest posting on franksworld.com, which is pretty cool. But let me tell you what I need real help with guest posting, and that is on on the um, on the site on Impact Quantum. So if you're not familiar, doing good, busy week. Yeah, it's good to be busy. It's good to be busy. You know, if you look at some of the bigger pictures of what's happening in the economy, it's good to be busy. Um, Here's a couple of things since uh, let's see. I am actually thinking of launching another podcast called High Impact Tuesdays, which obviously would launch new episodes would come out Tuesdays. I'm just trying to figure out kind of getting putting the final touches on the workflow between data driven and Impact Quantum. Here's some great deals that are going on right now on Humble Bundle. There's a deal on AI and machine learning toolkit. 25 bucks. No, $18 gets you 24 books. Everything from conversational AI. Shout out to you, Noel. Deep learning for engineers, adversarial machine learning, which is basically any of those tend to be those creative networks. Autonomous vehicle systems. I actually had some of these books already, but I decided that $18 and it goes to a charity. This one I picked up also here, which is basically a whole bunch of books from Make, the Make publishing company. And they talk about Raspberry Pi and Arduino and stuff like that. And finally, this one I'm on the fence about getting. I don't know. I have a Raspberry Pi, and there's so much material I have about learning Raspberry Pi that, like, as much as I want to get it, actually, this is pretty cool. Getting started with Arduino, that could be useful. Maybe I will pick it up. I don't know. That's interesting. Magpie is a cool magazine. Whenever I go to Micro Center, I always pick that up. Retro gaming on a Pi. First person shooter. This one, my older son and I, we kind of started working on this together. Um, I like this book, but I found it kind of confusing. Now, part of that is that the software had changed, and between the printing, so I don't know. What's this? What's this book? This looks interesting. The Book of Making. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe I will get this. Andy says he got it. Let me know what you think about it. Maybe I'll pick it up. Oh wait, did you get this bundle or the other Pi bundle? The Make bundle. I think I sent you this morning. That's pretty good. Um, yeah. So Frank's World is currently the second one. Okay, cool, awesome. Frank's World is currently, speaking of impact, seemingly it's not showing that. That is weird. It doesn't show that. But if it were showing that, I think I know why. Because I'm only showing that particular window, and that I don't know. I'm currently at 130 posts for the month, and I don't know exactly how many posts there are on Impact Quantum, but some safe to say it's probably about 60, I would say. And this is all created with a tool that Andy and I have been using called Dingo. And if you are a technology blogger or blogger in general, and you're not afraid of the command line, hit me up. I might start expanding the users of Dingo. Um, what I'm really looking to do is convert it to a software as a service. That's something that is kind of on the roadmap. I was hoping to get it done. What I'm really trying to do is figure out, should I rewrite it for Python? Because I actually, there's a couple of YouTube, actually it was for this, truth be told, because the other time I was on I turned this was a panel discussion, I turned it into a podcast episode for Impact Quantum. And if I go here, Impact Quantum, um, podcast, I really need to work on this website because as cool as that graphic is, I want to focus on the posts that get done. This here, what I actually did was I wanted to download the audio in order to do it, and I had permission to do that. But I found that the tools that you find online are kind of lacking and very spammy, honestly. So I did some searching around, spoke to Dr. Bingle, and basically had found a Python library called PyTube, and basically within, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes, I had this little utility that'll go based on an existing Pi library. So I'm really wondering, like, what would the value be of converting Dingo over to Python? And I don't know. Right now it's in C Sharp. which does kind of limit where I can run it as a service. I suppose I don't know much about Lambda. I suppose AWS Lambda would be able to run it. Um, I don't know. If anyone has experience with kind of rolling this out, I obviously I have a soft spot in my heart for the Microsoft ecosystem, but if there's only one place I can effectively run it, it's not really valuable. Anyway, that's just me rambling. What I really would like to do actually is to get it integrated with Power Apps, which totally negates what I just said, right? Um, but I just want to explore the options. Plus, it's a great way to learn. It's I learned a lot about kind of the new wave C sharp while writing Dingo, and definitely, if you have ideas or you want to be kind of on the beta or alpha program, let me know. I definitely would like to know what if you're a blogger, technology or otherwise. What are your needs? Like what is your biggest problem creating content? Um, Dingo is kind of what I've come up with to solve the problem, and I would imagine that most of these problems are the same. And if you go to impactquantum.com/podcast, you'll see all the episodes that we've had. If you go to just impactquantum.com, you'll see kind of the latest news. Can it give you more time in a day? Oh man, let me tell you. If I could write a tool that does that um, completely and very well, I would be streaming from some island somewhere, some tropical island, not Staten Island. Um, although no, don't disrespect the Shaolin. Um, Short of it is, it kind of does, John. Honestly, like I can belt out a blog post. Now your blog and my blog kind of have different purposes and engines and things like that, but I could belt out a blog post based on repurposing other content in about 30 seconds. So in that sense, yes, it does because if you kind of time it, um, you know, um, it used to take 15 minutes to do a blog post, and you're probably wondering times. And then I would typically do 30 blog posts a month is my old target, right? So that's 450 minutes a month. 450 minus divided by 60 to get the hours would be I'd spend about 7.5 hours a month on my blog. And when I started doing kind of this process automation or started analyzing it, I would ultimately, can I clear this? More info. Ah, no. So when I started doing this, I was like, well, I can come up with some tools, and I do have some primitive tools. Is it going to let me? Yeah, there we go. I did have some primitive tools that would get it down to 5 minutes a blog. Now, 5 times 30 divided by 60, I get that down to, well, that's a little optimistic. But realistically, I went from spending about 7, 8 hours a month on the blog to about maybe 3 hours. Now I can get, if I can get a blog post out in just about a minute, um, there's some nuance to it, and it's not always exactly that fast. But theoretically, I can get it down in like 30 seconds. That's an enormous time saving. So if you think about, if I were trying to do 100 or 5 posts per day, which would be about 150 blog posts per month, 150 times 15 divided by 60, I'd be no, no. 150 times 15. Yeah, so 150 blog posts, 15 times, 15 minutes per. Now divide that by 60. That'd be like 40 hours a month on the blog. That's not really sustainable. In fact, I did try that a couple of times, and it was just chaos. That effectively, I mean, that's a part-time job, more or less. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just that it was not sustainable. And you'll see if you look at the chart of my um, blog posts, it'll do that. So if I can get it down to just the bare thing and kind of use the tools that already exist and repurpose content and all that sort of thing, I can get it down to seconds. So John, reach out to me if you're interested. You have my hit me up on LinkedIn DM or email. I can give you access to it. Just don't steal it. But I'm really looking forward to kind of building out more on. And so yeah, so that's High Impact Tuesday. I hope you're having a great week. And it's 1 o'clock, and then I have a meeting scheduled at 1 p.m. So with that, I will bid you all adieu, and I'll play a really fancy graphic to show off some of my Adobe Premiere and After Effects skills. Have a good one.